So Donald Trump's incoherent video ramblings are back. That's right. Every once in a while, Donald Trump posts this series of videos on Truth Social, and they're always pretty bad. They're full of lies. It's pretty incoherent. You don't really understand what he's saying or the argument he's making. He struggles to get through the minute or 2 minutes that the video is. And he's been doing this, for the past day or so. And one in particular really caught my eye because it just shows you how much of a hypocrite he is. He completely contradicts himself and previous positions he has taken in this one video. And it's just remarkable to me how his followers just keep clapping along. They're like, yeah, this is great. This is good stuff. He's making such a great argument here when previously he has said the exact opposite. They just eat it up. So we're going to look at that video here, and then we're going to talk about why it's a contradiction and why what he's just saying in the video generally is, really outrageous and incredibly dishonest. So here's that Trump clip now.
At what point are the actions of a sitting president using lawfare and weaponization against his opponent for purposes of election interference considered illegal? I believe, as do various highly respected legal scholars, that crooked Joe Biden has long since crossed over that very sacred threshold. He is a criminal. He is a horrible president. He's the worst president in the history of our country. And the only way he thinks he can get elected is to take me to trials, take me to courts, city, state, and federal. They control them all. All of these cases that you're reading about are crooked Joe Biden's case because he can't put two sentences together. He can't do anything. So they weaponize government and they take me to court.
Oh man, it's just so tough to listen to him, isn't it? I don't know how anybody sits through a full speech, right? We talk about clips here and there because, he has to be pushed back on. But how anybody listens to this on a daily basis and listens to him for an extended period of time is beyond me. But what he just said right there is absolute insanity. It's just absolute insanity. He's advocating for the prosecution of Joe Biden, which he has, hinted at previously if he wins again in 2024. And here's another statement that he recently put out on Truth Social. It's just 2 words, and it's in all caps, quote, Biden trials, right? That's all he says. He just says Biden trials because he consistently accuses Biden of having committed some crimes, although he never tells us what crimes that Joe Biden has committed. He just kind of says it and people, believe him. But aside from, his video and his Truth Social statement, we also have very credible reporting from Axios, as you can see on your screen, that, Trump and the Republicans are, plotting in 2025, if they win, actual criminal investigations of the Bidens, not just Joe Biden, but the Biden family as a whole. They genuinely want to look into Biden criminally, even though their impeachment sham has failed. Everybody kind of recognizes that it's failed. James Comer's trying to keep it going. It's on its last legs, and everybody's just okay, let's move on here. Even the Republicans are kind of that mindset. But, aside from all the failures and the lack of facts, they just want to launch a criminal investigation into Joe Biden for no reason, likely to, punish the DOJ and the Democrats for trying to follow the rule of law and actually holding Donald Trump accountable. I guess that's their only reason. Which is a terrible one, might I add. It's actual abusing the DOJ as opposed to Biden, who's let the DOJ just do their job completely independent of him. But, this is something that they're actually trying to do. They want to go after Joe Biden legally. Again, nobody knows for what. Nobody knows why. And maybe you see where I'm going with this, but is this not just the ultimate contradiction? Donald Trump is in front of the Supreme Court right now arguing for absolute immunity for presidents. He's saying every president, no matter who it is, Democrat or Republican, they must be completely immune from criminal prosecution. Otherwise, they can't do their jobs. And now Trump is advocating for Joe Biden to be prosecuted. Wait, hold on now. I thought that, presidents were meant to have immunity, right? I thought that was the whole thing. I thought that was his whole spiel about why he can't be criminally prosecuted. He also posted on Truth Social, the same platform where he posted this video in March, saying in the first line, a president of the United States must have full immunity, without which it would be impossible for him/her to properly function. What happened to that? He has just completely contradicted himself. Apparently Joe Biden can be charged, but not him. He wants to look into Joe Biden criminally, but he also wants presidents to have full immunity. Like, I'm finding that the Republicans and Donald Trump cannot keep track of their own arguments, right? They constantly contradict themselves, especially Donald Trump. They will say one thing in court and say another outside of court on Truth Social. Like, we're seeing it with Trump in his New York City criminal case right now. He's saying, I'm not scared. I want these trials to go forward. I'm innocent. I'll be vindicated. And then he's trying a dozen plus times in court to try to postpone this trial. So which one is it, Donald? Do presidents have full immunity, or is Joe Biden committing a crime and whatnot? Pick a side. I mean, they don't have to pick a side because the followers, his supporters, will just believe him no matter what. He can be on both sides of an issue. They don't care. But, for us logical people out there, the people who actually care about like strong, good leadership like we have with Joe Biden, it'd be nice if Donald Trump maybe didn't contradict himself every single day. And I also think it's like decently possible. I won't say it's 100%. I'll say it's decently possible that Donald Trump is just like so mentally gone. Like, we all know he's been living in fantasy land for years now. He's like up in the stars and comes up with the most insane conspiracies. Something you might hear from your crazy uncle at Thanksgiving who's like standing in the corner and screaming at the wall. That's how I kind of look at Donald Trump. And I think like his mental ability is just kind of gone. He's not based in reality. So I think it's very possible that he like at the same time believes both of these things, right? He believes that Joe Biden somehow could be prosecuted and that he's going to do it, but also he himself is immune. Like, it makes no sense to your logical person, but to Trump, I think there is a possibility that it makes perfect sense to him, that he like somehow justifies this in his head. But like, listen, aside from the contradiction, I do want to talk about how absurd his claim is. Like, it is so ridiculous that it makes you want to like put your hands on your face and kind of just go, oh my God, I can't believe anybody supports this guy. It's so absurd. Like, he somehow magically believes that Joe Biden, who is the president, has been able to influence all of these cases, some of them in individual states, some of them in jurisdictions that are not DC or whatever. He somehow believes that, Joe Biden has been able to involve himself in these, which is absurd. Like, he's gaslighting his followers. He's trying to gaslight the American people. If you just read the indictments, right? If you just read the criminal charges against Donald Trump, you see that the evidence against him is overwhelming. If his name wasn't Trump, right? He was just like some average guy, everybody'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a open and shut case, right? Get him in jail. Like, we kind of know how the outcome of a potential trial if you read these indictments. But since it's Donald Trump, his supporters don't read the indictments. They think it's automatically fake and they think he's innocent, right? It's just like if you read them, if you know what's being alleged, nobody who's actually like in the legal field, despite him saying, oh, these legal experts say that I'm innocent, nobody who's actually in the legal field and credible is like, yeah, like this is a criminal prosecution by Joe Biden. It's politically motivated. It's like, no. It's just incredibly likely that Donald Trump broke the law based on the available evidence to us right now. This is not Joe Biden. This is the rule of law doing its job. Like, I think the perfect example of, showing you that this is not politically motivated is the fact that, like, in the classified document case against Donald Trump, among the evidence in that case and all of the evidence against him in other cases, he's literally on audio. He's on audio admitting that he had a classified document in his hand and that he was showing it to other people. He acknowledged that it was classified and that he could have declassified it as president, but didn't. That's like the whole ball game right there. We're saying, yeah, you knew you had classified documents when you weren't supposed to. And he's on audio admitting to that, and somehow he thinks it's politically motivated. It's like, no. Nobody supports a politically motivated case. No Democrats want that. We want a case based on the facts, and all of the cases against him are based on the facts. This is like the biggest lie that he's running with that is so easily disproven for logical people. Again, prefacing it for logical people. But it's just so absurd. I keep saying it. I know I keep saying it. But it's so ridiculous. It's so crazy. It's so insane. And the fact that he's getting away with it on his side, at least, like the MAGA side, like these people just kind of like buy into his claim that it's all fake, right? It's all fake. It just shows you the political turmoil, the trouble that this country is somewhat in with this like far right kind of coalition of people having a potential at running this government, right? They're not interested in fact. They're interested in like, what does Trump say? Let's believe that. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I think it's worthwhile because it is truly the ultimate contradiction. He's arguing one thing in court and another thing on Truth Social, but then he's also arguing both on Truth Social. It's like, as I mentioned, I don't even think Donald Trump knows what's going on. I think he's kind of just up in the clouds. But aside from that, jokes aside, thank you so much for watching this video. I would really appreciate if you could drop a subscription down below. Just press the button. It goes such a long way. Of course, like the video, comment, let me know what you think. Share the video with anybody you think needs to see it. And of course, as I always say at the end of these videos, if we work hard, we persevere, we'll get Joe Biden reelected in 2024 and beat this lunatic.